Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a good day so far. We are going to be reading some stories, interesting stories today. Funny. I think they're funny anyway. But let's just read them. Why not? But I do have a warning. The first one is kind of gross. So, let that be a warning. If you want to skip it, feel free to, but okay. When I was 11, my mom was in a car accident in the family minivan and it was totaled. While the insurance was sorting things out, they gave us some four-door sedan for a family of 6, and the only other vehicle we had was my father's truck. So about a month of having this sedan, my parents decided it had been too long since we went out and did something together. So tonight we're going to eat somewhere as a family. We decide on Chinese and have a good night at the restaurant. On the way back home, the configuration of the car is as follows. My dad is driving. My mother is in the passenger seat. My eldest brother, who is 15, behind the driver. In his lap, my youngest brother, 7. In the middle seat was me, and behind my mother, my older sister, 14. Now, as we're driving back, a joke is told that has my little brother just cracking up. He's laughing so hard he starts coughing, to the point that he can't breathe and he starts having an asthma attack. So he is using his inhaler and he starts speaking through his little gasps. Mom, Mom, I think I'm gonna throw up. My dad reacts instantly. There's a garbage bag underneath your feet. Find it. As you can imagine, we frantically try to find this garbage bag, but to no avail. So my mother grabs a to-go cup from the front, dumps its contents out the window, and says, "Throw up in this," and hands it to my older brother. This all happens in a matter of about 30 seconds. As you can imagine, my older brother is holding this cup, and my littler brother, starts throwing up in it to the point that it's overflowing onto my older brother, who is sitting very stone-faced and stoic, and onto me, who is starting to gag a little. My mom, again reacting quickly, says, "Give me the cup," which she takes and again promptly tosses the contents of out the window. Here's the thing, though. My sister had to put her head out the window so she wouldn't have to smell the throw up in the car. Not until the day I die will I ever forget the look on my sister's face when she pulled back into the car and turned towards me. It's a mixture of horror and apology, half covered in my little brother's vomit. It was smeared over exactly half of her face, and it was so disgusting. In the split second she had, her eyes said to me, "I'm sorry this is happening," and she unhesitatingly vomited all over both of us. Naturally, being covered in 2 different kinds of vomit and having just seen face out of a horror movie, I instantly vomit on both of us as well. My older brother just sat there, completely stoic. My mom is laughing so hard at what she's just done that she's having her own coughing fit in the front. And my dad is yelling, "What the heck is going on back there?" He is so angry, and this just adds to the hilarity of the situation. At this point, we're on a pretty backcountry road, so we pull over and strip down to nothing. My brothers and I are in our boxers, and my sister is in our older brother's t-shirt, the only clean piece of clothing in the back of the car, and her underwear. My dad starts the car and then says, "I can't believe this." And my mom says, "What? What's wrong?" And my dad says, "We are about to run out of gas." We are a pretty good way from anything, so there is a real possibility we could be stranded in our current state, which just makes my mom laugh some more at the ridiculousness of it all. However, we do make it to a gas station, which affords us some pretty funny looks from the strangers looking into our car at these naked children in the back. We make it home, and after we get out, under everyone's feet, we find a trash bag. Oh, holy crap. It's funny to read, but at the same time, if I were in this situation, this sounds like my nightmares. No joke. I have emetophobia, so like, if this happened to me, I would be traumatized. This sounds like a situation out of a horror movie. Bro. Oh my gosh. I can only hope that something like this never happens to me, but I don't know, man. That that is insane. All three of them spewed. That's horrible. I feel so bad for their parents. But it's pretty funny. Okay, next story. My older sister Lori and I were driving out of town. Suddenly, she had to go pee, so there we were, zipping along the highway trying to find a gas station or a restaurant. I had to go too, suddenly, as well. Both of us holding it as hard as we could. She kept driving fast. Oh my gosh, I'm literally going to burst, Lori said. I must have a bladder the size of a chipmunk. Out of all the animals, how did you choose a chipmunk? I asked her. I don't know, it just popped in my head. She laughed. A chipmunk has to have a small bladder, right? Finally, we see a gas station. Lori pulled in, and we both ran in. We got to the restroom. There was only one, men and women, shared restroom. She looked at me. Do you just have to pee? She asked. I nodded yes. Okay, go first, but hurry. Girls can hold it longer than guys. So I went in and locked the door. I peed, but then I had to do something else. RJ, I was wrong. Girls can't hold it as long as I thought. But I think I was right about the chipmunk. Will you hurry? It's going to be running down my leg, she said in a loud whisper through the door. I hurried as fast as I could. Come on, she said. What the heck are you doing in there? I have no spare clothes and I'm seriously going to pee myself. Finally, I flushed, washed, opened the door, and walked out. Lori ran in, then stuck her head out the door. Oh my gosh, what the heck did you do in here? She said, fanning her nose. Is that you? I thought you said you only had to pee. This is really bad, RJ. I'm breathing in molecules of your crap. I'm sorry, that sentence is hilarious. Well, you always say a sister or brother. We're made of the same stuff. If I ever smell this rotten coming out of a restroom, RJ, freaking shoo me because something is definitely wrong. Oh, I cannot breathe in here, she says from behind the closed door. I laugh. Just then, a trucker-type guy walks up and asks me, anyone in there? Yup, I say. She shouldn't be long. The toilet flushes, and Lori comes out and exhales loudly, looks at the trucker, who smiles and tips his cap at her and says, well, hello, sweetheart. Aren't you the prettiest thing I've seen in a long time? You, gorgeous lady, have made my day. He then walks into the odorous restroom and closes the door. Lori gives me this panicked look and says, come on, let's get the heck out of here. We take off back to the car with Lori saying, he's going to think it was me that stunk the place up. I still laugh at this when I think about it. The look on her face was priceless. This sounds just like something I would do, to be honest. I'd be horrified that that guy would think it was me. Even though I guess there's nothing wrong with that because it's just a natural bodily function at the end of the day. But still. Okay, let's move on to our last story. It starts by saying, I know nothing about auto mechanics. I don't want to know. I want to drive the vehicle. I don't want to get to know it on a personal level. My father knew that, and after a few tries, he decided that I should not work on vehicles. However, my husband, Terrence, seemed to think that he could show me how to change my oil. What? I told Terrence that I didn't care about changing my oil. I can have it changed and with no headache. But Terrence would not be dissuaded. Terrence was surprised that my father hadn't shown me how to do that. I tried telling Terrence why he didn't try. He was not having it. I was bored. Terrence was under my truck doing something and told me to put the oil back in the truck. I looked around, and the only oil I saw was the old oil Terrence had drained. Didn't make any sense to me, but I thought this was how auto mechanics went. I was shaking the droplets of oil from the container that had once held the old oil. Terrence asked me, "What did you do with the oil that was in there?" I looked at him and said, "I put it back in the truck. That's what you said to do." Terrence almost swallowed his tongue and yelled, "You put the old oil back in the truck? Are you kidding?" Terrence holds his head like he has a headache. I'm trying to justify my decision. Terrence breathes in, long and deep. Then he gets under the truck again. When he got out from under the truck, he makes a big production, bringing out a cardboard container with the fresh oil. He places the box firmly on the ground. Then Terrence points to the oil while saying, "Now, put this oil back in the truck." He said it like I didn't speak English. Terrence went inside the garage to clean up and put his tools away. Then he went inside and brought me a soda. By the time he got to my truck, I was finished putting the oil in the truck as requested. Terrence is eyeing the empty oil containers. There were 15. I was proud of what I had done. I took the lid off the reservoir and showed Terrence that I had filled it all the way up. I had heard about conniption fits, and let me tell you, they are ugly to watch. Terrence is yelling, "Oh my gosh! You mean to tell me you put 15 quarts of oil in this truck?" I wasn't going to answer that. Something inside me kept repeating, "Abort! Abort! Don't make eye contact." I had never seen Terrence so upset. He leaned against the truck for a few minutes. Then he looked at me and said, "Go. Just go." He was mumbling, but I couldn't make it out. I watched Terrence from the living room window. After he finished doing the truck thing, he went into the garage. About 2 hours later, Terrence came in the living room, dragging like he had pulled the truck by himself. He sat down in his chair, heavily. He then put his head in his hands. I didn't know what to say, so I didn't say anything. A few minutes later, wearily, Terrence said, "I don't understand. You hang out with the guys. You always have. That I know. You're a smart woman, one of the smartest women I know. How in the world did you not get any kind of mechanical education?" I told him the truth. "I never liked that stuff. It bored me. I tried to tell you. My father quit trying to teach me something about the maintenance of my vehicle. It just wasn't worth the mess." Terrence looked at me and said, "Don't you ever even open the hood on any vehicle we possess, okay?" Fine with me. I don't like auto mechanics. Sheesh. That is, wow. Honestly, this guy kind of sounds like a red flag. Not to diss on him or anything, but I will. I guess he's frustrated. I would be too, but come on. You're that angry over a mistake about oil? I mean, if she knows nothing about cars or auto mechanics, which I don't either, so I would probably do the same thing. He's just so angry. I don't know. I personally wouldn't want that kind of toxicity in my life. Anyways. This video is about to end. Well, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.